Did you know the LA Kings have their own culinary partner? It's Superfood, celebrating 10 years and over 1 million meals served. Since 2020, the Kings have trusted Superfood to fuel their players. Now through Simply Lunch, you can bring that same performance-driven food to your office. Because when people eat better, they work better. Visit mysuperfood.com. That's mysuperfd.com. Or call 213-973-6145. Qualified companies can enjoy a free lunch for up to 10 managers.
You're listening to All the Kings Men, the official podcast of the LA Kings. Now, here's your host, Jesse Cohen.
Welcome back to another episode of All the Kings Men. I'm Jesse Cohen. Joining me today, Carter George. How are you doing today, Carter?
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
And featuring Zach Dooley. How are you doing today, Zach?
Jesse, I'm doing great.
We're here today on the surface of it to talk about the World Junior Championship coming up around Christmas. But basically, I'm always thrilled to talk to Carter George. So, Carter, we're going to start off with a real simple one. You've played at multiple levels of hockey since the last time we spoke to you. You've played, at the pro level, the OHL, the AHL, international. Any thoughts on how your game has progressed as a result of all that experience?
Yeah, I think for me the biggest thing is just gaining all that experience from all those games and all those different competition. I think for me being able to learn how to play at a higher level is something I want to do to help develop my game right now. And I think it's just been super cool past few months being able to experience all the things I have.
I had a friend who worked for the Sharks, and he was at your AHL debut when you had that shutout up in San. I was like, man, that Carter George kid can play. Just like how cool was that experience for you to take the step up in competition and be like, hey, like I belong, at this level too.
Yeah, I think the whole process of me going up there at the end of the season and getting my first start, I think the Kings did a really good job of that, and it took a little bit of time of adjusting. I mean, that first week of practice, I can't say it was the best there, but once I had a talk with goalie coach Adam Brown, he was just kind of like, have confidence in your game, play your game, and once he kind of told me that, I just felt way better in the net, felt way more confident, and going into that game, I just felt really good, and I was fortunate enough that things went my way, and we ended up getting the win, and I got a shutout.
Carter, we've heard from tons of players about what it feels like to put your country's jersey on and wear that logo on the front of it. Playing for the Ontario Reign, obviously that team doesn't mean as much to you as, say, Team Canada does, but in a more personal way, putting on a professional logo, what's the difference between wearing like a Team Canada jersey, which is, your nation, the country, the history and all that, but also compared to just progressing personally in your own career?
Yeah, I think obviously it's always super cool to be able to represent your country at the international stage, and at the same time, I mean, being able to play your first pro game, being able to play a game for the organization that drafted you, it's super special. So I wouldn't put one ahead of the other. I both think they're both cool experiences, and I think I really enjoy when I get to do both.
At the same time, like what is just like that pride element of playing with your country's logo on the chest? Like I imagine it like as a fan where you're at like say for us it's a USA game and it's like, oh man, like everybody is rooting and rallying for the same team, and that's so rare in sports. Like how special is it to be just like representing your country, whether it's U18s, U20s or anything like that?
Yeah, I think it's super cool. I know my whole life, anytime it's kind of Christmas time, I loved watching the World Juniors. And for me, it's like thinking about little kids back home watching you on TV. I think that's the coolest part about it. And you kind of just want to be able to win games and make the country proud and make those little kids proud because they look up to you. And I think that's just super cool because I remember when I was younger and when Canada would win it was just a lot better mood for me, and I just want to pay back the same thing for kids nowadays and the rest of the country.
Carter, I was watching an interview you gave recently about the upcoming World Juniors, and they talked about the fact that it's going to be played on U.S. ice. Are you the kind of guy that gets motivated by something like the U.S.-Canada rivalry? Like, are you going to spend any more time getting ready for this tournament because of that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's probably the biggest rivalry ever. But no, I think it's going to be so cool this year. Obviously, they won it on our soil, so it's going to be even sweeter if we win on their soil. And Minnesota is super close to my hometown, Thunder Bay, so I know I have a lot of friends and family there make the trip down, so it's going to be extra special for me.
Do you have any moments growing up that stand out to you as being like what I remember from World Juniors? Like I know for myself, it was like the John Carlson overtime goal. Like, did you have one for you on the Canada side that just like made you fall in love with that tournament?
Yeah, I feel like there's so many you go back to. For me, I always love the Connor Bedard one against Slovakia in the quarterfinals, that OT winner. I was 16 at the time, so I was like, I'm 2 years away from this, so I thought that was super cool. And our trainer here in Owen Sound was at the tournament, so it was, yeah, extra special for us as a team to kind of root for him. So I thought that was super cool. But I mean, growing up, I think there's a few memories that just them winning the tournament that just kind of stick out.
So you've got, excuse me, you've got the pressure of, the USA Canada rivalry. You've got the pressure of it being a short window where players are allowed to participate in this tournament. How much of that do you even think about or are aware of, or is it a pressure or opportunity?
I think it's more opportunity. I mean, getting the opportunity to represent your country on the big stage, and I think that's super cool. And I think it's more just an opportunity and uh, a lot of excitement. It's those kind of games are really easy to get up for and really easy to play in. So it's a lot of fun, and it's something I definitely look forward to.
Do you think you would have answered that question differently last year, having never like been to the tournament? Now you've gone through it. You're like, all right, I kind of know what I'm
Yeah.
going through now.
Yeah, a little bit. Like now I understand the whole process of it all, the pressure of the media and like all that. So I think it's this year going into it, it's a little bit more known, not a little bit more certainty going into it, knowing what to expect. Unlike last year, where it was like everything was kind of new to me. So, like I kind of say, when you go to camps, you kind of get used to the environment, you kind of get used to the play style and everything a little bit sooner, and you get a little bit more confidence when you go into it the next time.
We've talked to you in the past about your support structure. So now you've got, your Owen Sound coaches, you've got the pros that you've worked with. I'm assuming you're still talking to your dad about your game. Now you've got, a previous tournament's experience under your belt. How much help does that have, that scouting, that experience, that support, who have seen you in this setting before? Like, how often are you talking to your dad about what to look for against the rest of the world?
Probably every day he's in my ear about something, but no, it's good. I have a really good support staff around me. I mean, our goalie coach here at Owen Sound, my goalie coach I work with in the summer, and then obviously all the guys in LA, they're always there to support me, and um, I just think I have a lot of guys and a lot of resources to reach out to whenever I need help, whenever I'm struggling for and seek assistance. So. I think that's super cool. I don't know how many other guys have all these resources like me, so I just try and use them as best as possible, especially going into a tournament like this where you want to be well coached and best coach going into it, so you're most prepared.
Is it a little bit weird to think of like how many different Kings prospects will be in a tournament like this, but your teammates with them sort of, but in a tournament like this, like, there's you and maybe Liam Greentree on Team Canada, but then you're playing against guys with the US, playing against guys with Czechia or obviously Finland, goalie on goalie. Like, do you think about it like that at all, being so young in the Kings organization?
Yes and no. Like, um, I know last year, like I can't remember. I don't know how many Kings guys were there, but I do remember when we lost to Czech. I never really had spoke to Devo at that point. And Devo came up to me. He was like, "Oh, good tournament, George. See you in LA." And I'd never heard him speak in my life before that, so I thought that was pretty funny. But no, I think definitely like playing USA, playing Bruce Stevich. I mean, I think that's going to be a little sweet if we can get the win over them, and obviously guys in Czech getting that win again. I think that would be pretty cool. So I kind of think about it a little bit, I guess you could say, but I'd more rather focus on just getting the win and then kind of getting to brag about it after.
Carter, playing goaltender is obviously, I mean, everybody knows it's a totally unique position, not only within hockey, but within sports. Do you find that you are asked to do different things depending on the setting, or is goaltending coaching pretty standard across the levels? Like, is it as simple as when we talk to Glenn Murray and he says, I don't know, if the goalie stops the puck, they're good, and if they don't, they're bad? Or are there different, methods that you have to employ when you're going up at different levels?
Yeah, I think hockey's a little different when you go up levels. Like, um, I found pro level games a little bit more structured than a junior hockey game, so that means less breakdowns, and it's a little bit more predictable up in the pro level compared to junior hockey. So um, Bucks always had the term with me when I was playing in junior. He's like, you always play a man and a half because you're always worried about the next breakdown. But when you get to the pro level, you just got to focus on one guy and trust your teammates that they're going to be where they are. So I always like that analogy, and that's the one I always kind of go back to when I think about this kind of stuff, because it's like you look at a pro game, it's a little bit different from a junior game. So to answer your question, I definitely think there's a little bit of a jump in how you have to play at certain levels.
Sorry, Zach, I'm going to jump in here. Can you just clarify what man and a half means?
Like you're worried about a guy and another guy a little bit too, where it's like in the pro level, you're just worried about one guy and you're just worried
Okay.
about the shooter. So that's kind of his little analogy.
It's kind of like on a 2-on-1 where the common consensus is the goalie plays the shooter, the defenseman plays the pass. You maybe have to worry a little bit more about both at the lower level,
Yeah, that kind of thing.
more or less. In an international tournament, do you kind of feel the same way? Because obviously, like you're talking about the best of the best from the junior level, but also it's a group that has never really played together. Maybe it's a different system or structure. Do you kind of see it the same way, where even though the competition is a little bit better, it might be a little bit less structured as a result of that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that because you're playing with new guys, so you don't know what their tendencies are, like what a teammate's tendency is when he plays a 2-on. So I think over the term, your kind of chemistry grows and you kind of understand what your players are going to do. So that definitely helps out over the course of like a tournament like this. So I think at the start, obviously, of first like exhibition games or whatnot, it's kind of just trying to figure out how your team kind of works and how the structure all works of the game. And then once you get in the tournament, it's just kind of free flowing, like you understand what guys are going to do and their tendencies and whatnot. So that helps out a lot, I think.
Carter, I apologize in advance. I'm going to put my old man hat on. I'm not sure I'm able to take it off anymore. When I talk to players your age, I sometimes forget that you are as young as you are. And so this is one of those questions. Do you find that the game, that specifically the position of goaltender, like have there been developments or evolutions, in your career from the time you were maybe 15, 16 to now that you hadn't predicted or didn't see coming, were goaltending coaches, or were there expectations that a goalie would play a certain way when you were younger that is now changing?
So I'd say in my 16-year-old year, I started working with a goalie coach named Matt Smith in my off seasons, and he kind of opened my eyes up a little bit and helped change my game to get it where it is right now. And I think there's a few things that he kind of taught me where I was kind of just like go out there and stop the puck and do anything I can to stop the puck, and I just got to look technically sound, but there's different things about like how you want to position your body so that when you land, you're able to go back the other way, and like little things like that where you never really think about, but the way he explains it, it makes total sense to me. And kind of setting yourself up to when you do go side to side, setting yourself up in a good spot to make the save, but not only to make the save, but to be in a good spot to play the rebound out and be in a good spot after that. So I definitely think there's a few things like that that caught my eye, and I think that definitely helped evolve my game. And I would have never guessed there was that kind of thing, that much detail at the next level.
Do you feel like that's almost made you look more routine? And I say that as a very complimentary way, like just in watching you play, a lot of times you make saves that I think are a lot harder than they look. Is it almost like you've gotten better at anticipating that next play and that allows it to be more square or look more sound than having to make like a spectacular, like reactionary save?
I also think that comes with just experience and time, time in the league kind of thing. So 4 years in the OHL, you kind of understand what tendencies of guys and what's going to happen, and it's a little bit more predictable once you've been in so many situations, so many experiences. Like say a guy goes like it's a 2-on-1 and I see a guy fake a shot and pass it, it's like I've seen this situation before. I know how to play it. So like little things like that where it's just like being familiar with what to do in certain situations, I'd say is key.
We've talked to you about this before, and it's one of the things you're known for, your ability to move the puck up the ice as a goaltender. In international play with, teams that are thrown together for a tournament, is it easier or harder to find opportunities to do that?
I'd say a little bit harder. Um, just because it's all like I said, like chemistry with defense, kind of knowing where they're gonna go when you're playing the puck to them, and different system. Like certain coaches like the way goalies play the puck certain way, like always going out the strong side or the weak side. Stuff like that, I think, is a little bit more challenging. And also in those kind of tournaments, you don't really want to make a mistake playing the puck because that
Sure.
can really cost you big in those short tournaments. So usually when I go to them, I try and keep my puck playing as simple as possible. Uh, besides that Germany game last year when I tried to score one. That, yes.
Would you rather pick the empty net to seal a win or make like a sick glove save to seal the win?
See, like that's such a tough one.
You win either way.
If I win either way, it doesn't really matter. But I would say I'd want the goal just so you get a 2-goal lead or something like that. You can actually breathe a little bit for the last 30 seconds or whatnot. But um, uh, that's pretty tough. I'd take either or though.
So when I first heard about your ability to pass the puck, I think the very first time it got on my radar was at the draft. They drafted you and they threw a stat up on screen that said something you led the OHL in stretch passes from a goalie or something like that. And I went, oh, that's an interesting stat. But how much work does a goaltender put in zone short passes, like handling the puck behind the net at the side of the net? Like how much of a role does a goalie play in getting the puck up the ice outside of those times where you might, send it 100 feet up the ice?
Yeah, I think like I kind of like to take pride in that kind of stuff when you go and play the puck and you play it to the D and we get the puck out. We end up going on an ozone shift. Like I like to take pride in that kind of stuff because it kind of if you don't play the puck, you never know if D gets hit. It just I just find it like you're in the D zone less time. It's easier to break a puck out and you get to play in the ozone a lot more. So I like to take pride in that kind of stuff, and it's something we work on in practice for sure. I mean, I love to just mess around with a puck and just stick handle it and fool around with it behind the net and try new things with it, trying to keep evolving my skill set there. And we do certain drills too that knowing where our defense are when I'm playing the puck and playing the puck to them, stuff like that. We work on a little bit here and there in practice too. So you just kind of have that chemistry with your D too.
There any goalies that you watch stylistically when it comes to playing the puck? Like I imagine there are some technically with playing the position, but like specifically with like puck playing.
Yes and no. Like I kind of when I started playing the puck, I started playing at a young age, and it was just like from there, I just kept fooling around with it, and it just kept getting better and better. But I I enjoy watching like guys like Shesterkin, even like Bennington. I think he's pretty good at playing the puck. Decor, like guys like that, guys who play the puck a lot. I enjoy watching them and seeing what they do with the puck, and just trying to find ways that's most efficient with it.
Everybody knows about the USA Canada rivalry. It transcends, just men's hockey. Obviously, the Four Nations tournament happened last year. That was a big story. Is there another, you don't have to tell us who, but is there another country that you personally get up for in these tournaments?
Like I feel like it's pretty easy to get up for every game in these tournaments, but
That's probably the right answer, by the way.
Definitely the number one. But yeah,
I want to ask you about your season this year with Owen Sound as well. Just looking at the standings, I mean, it looks like you guys have really taken some strides and some steps forward this year. How much cooler has this year been for you as you've kind of been a part of a team that's playing really well and just kind of competing for like a divisional title and maybe a higher seed in the playoffs?
yeah, I think it's definitely a lot better than being a dead last team going into the season. It's a little bit better when you're up in the standings. So I definitely think it's more fun and for us as a group. But there's a lot of belief in the room right now, and everyone believes that we have a good team and a team to win a championship. So right now we're just trying to stack up as many wins as we can and take this thing for a ride.
In a situation like Owen Sound, goaltender is such a unique situation. There's only so many per team. How do you identify mentors or people to mimic in the locker room? Like, we've heard about there's certain goalies over the years that have been hailed as leaders in the room or on the ice or whatever. But, if you're a kid coming in and you're a forward, you have 12 other forwards, maybe more to look at and to model after. If you're a defenseman, you've got 6 or 7 other guys to look at. If you're a goaltender, you might only have one other guy in the room with you as a goalie. If you're the veteran on a team, how do you gain that experience of mentorship in such a small pool of players?
Yeah, I think I was fortunate enough when I was 16 that we had an overager, Nick Chenard, who was really good to me. He really mentored me when I was young, and uh, that really helped me out kind of excel my game at that time. And even when I was in junior B, I had Mateo Lama, who spent a season in the OHL, and he was just trying to help me kind of develop my game to get to the OHL. So I think because I had such good mentors at such a young age, I kind of learned a lot from them. And now being the older guy, it's just like trying to help out your goalie partner, help out the next guy in line kind of thing. And I think I just learned so much from them that it just helps me out when it comes to dealing with this now.
We heard all the time, when Jonathan Quick was with the Kings, how strong of a leader he was in the room. You would just really never see it on the ice because of how kind of niche the goalie position is. Like, do you see it that way as well, where as a goalie, your voice carries a lot of weight within the room, even if maybe you're not used in like a leadership capacity on the ice?
Yeah, I think so. I think especially as a goalie, sometimes you see more than what players do, and I think sometimes the goalie's voice, if speak every so often, it carries a lot of weight when they do speak. So I definitely think it's important for goalies to be a leader. I know it's kind of tough on the ice because you're not always talking, but at the same time off the ice, you can still be a leader and lead by example. So I definitely think that's something that I've been trying to incorporate into my game this year and kind of my role in the room.
All right, well, Carter, I am Canadian when it suits me and American when it doesn't, but in professional hockey or international hockey, I choose to be Canadian. So I'm going to wish you the best and hope that you come away with a gold medal and embarrass those Americans on home ice. So good luck to you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys.
And thanks for joining us. We always appreciate it. Zach, thanks as always. And Kings fans, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.